Okay, wait. I wanted to make a video on how to change and shift your core beliefs because I think that this is something that honestly just impacts all of us on a daily basis. Your core beliefs at the end of the day influence what you believe you are deserving of, what you believe you can actually manifest, what you actually create in your reality on a daily basis. So I want to make a video on self-discovery, on awareness, on how to wake up and start consciously creating a life that genuinely aligns with you and your desired future. And I wanted to make a video on how to become aware of and change these core beliefs so that they stop dictating and running your life moving forward. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. I read this book that I will link below, and it's called Parallel Universes of Self. I have it right over there on my wall. And this book was basically learning about how to unlock the infinite realities that are constantly surrounding us through our own decisions and our own self-concept and identity. So the way that we are going to implement this practice is that you firstly need to borrow someone else's consciousness. Now, I know that that kind of sounds crazy and woo-woo, but what you're going to do is you're going to pick an object in your room, and you're going to look at that object, and you're going to decide to transfer your current consciousness into that object's consciousness. So I'm currently staring at this little panda Lego right here. This is as such. And basically you're going to transfer your consciousness into this item. So when you do that, you're going to start viewing reality from this item's eyes. So you're going to picture their perspective and the way that they see the world. So I like to close my eyes and then I hold the panda and then I'm basically viewing reality through the panda's eyes right now in this moment. I just realized how crazy this probably looks and sounds to any normal person. But basically you're going to use the item that you decide and you're going to look around your room as if you are the item and you are looking through its eyes in a different perspective in reality, okay? The reason that we do this is because we are training ourselves to get out of our mind to view reality in a different way. So the more often that you practice shifting your perspectives, the more you are creating a solid foundation for you to learn how to snap out of your original way of viewing life and start viewing life in a way that actually supports the lifestyle that you want to consciously create. Next is an understanding that nothing is inherently good or bad. It just simply is. I think so often in manifestation, we often categorize limiting beliefs and undesirable circumstances and experiences as negative. And we like to place blame on them as in a reason as to why we can't manifest, as in a reason as to why our reality is crap, and as something that is bothering us on a daily basis. And I think that a really important thing in manifestation is an understanding that by consciously affirming to yourself that this experience is bad, by consciously affirming to yourself that this is hurting you, your self-concept, your image, your reality, your life in some certain way, you are therefore giving it power and reaffirming its existence in your life. So a really important mindset that I want you to adopt moving forward whenever you have any undesirable experience happening in your life is to flip the script, is to start looking at it through a lens of gratitude. Whenever you have a negative experience happening in your lifestyle, I want you to start by saying what a privilege it is to feel or to have, and then talk about your negative experience, okay? So what a privilege it is to feel heartbreak, what a privilege it is to feel loss, what a privilege it is to have bad days, because the bad days, the heartbreak and the loss shows you that you are also capable of experiencing love, shows you that you are also capable of having amazing days and such beautiful wins in your day-to-day being. Turn bad into good and good into better, okay? That's one of my favorite quotes that I love to say all the time. Next is going to be to act before your mind gives you permission, okay? So I think that this is a common paradox where so many people believe, okay, I must have confidence in order to do X, Y, and Z. I must have confidence to go and talk to that hot man across the room. I must have confidence to go and step into the gym. I must have confidence to walk up on stage and talk to this big crowd. And I think that the thing is that confidence actually works in reverse. We as humans are not designed to just naturally have confidence towards things that we have never done before. We are not naturally designed to feel comfortable walking the path when we have never stepped foot on the path before. Reality is often action, therefore leads to evidence, therefore leads to confidence in the future. You do not automatically have confidence and then you step into the gym. You get confidence by going to the gym, learning how to lift the weights, learning how to consistently show up, and therefore you get confidence in return because the evidence shows you that you are not going to die when you go to the gym, that you are not going to be made fun of, that it's not as bad as it might be made out to be. And so through that, you gain the confidence to continuously, repeatedly do that action moving forward. So it's an understanding that your brain updates after the experience, not before it. You need to walk the path instead of overanalyzing the best way to walk the path. Next is that you need to become fascinated by your patterns and your beliefs. So whenever you are reacting in a certain way to an experience, whenever you have something that triggers you, whenever you notice that you are seeking validation, whenever you are judging yourself or other people, instead of therefore judging yourself and saying, wow, I'm such a crappy person for doing this. Wow, I can't believe I'm seeking validation. I can't believe that, blah, blah, blah. You need to instead become curious. You need to ask yourself, why? Why am I seeking validation right now? Why am I choosing to procrastinate instead of just doing the homework the minute that I got it? What am I trying to avoid? And most importantly, why am I judging in the first place? What is this person doing that triggers me so deeply that I feel the need to judge them? Or I see that pattern within myself, and so therefore I feel like I need to project this judgment towards them because I've never felt like I could act that way, so this person cannot act that way either. Because at the end of the day, self-awareness creates a foundation to start breaking down these limiting core beliefs, because if you didn't know you had them in the first place, then how the hell are you going to get rid of them? And the best way to do that is to just start reflecting regularly. Reflect on the way you choose to react to certain experiences. Reflect on the way that your body tenses up when you start talking to that one specific person. Reflect on the way that you get so excited when one specific experience happens. Understand why that experience makes you so happy and choose to implement that into other areas of your life. Next, and I think this is going to be very powerful for a lot of people that are already in the manifestation community and do a lot of mental diet and, work reflecting on their mental state of being a lot. And that is going to be to stop asking, is this true? Is this a fact? And instead start asking, is this belief actually helping me? Is this belief helping me get to where I want to go in the long term? Okay? Because I think a very common thing is that we like to often look in the mirror and we like to ask ourselves, oh, do I look ugly? Do I look really unhealthy? Do I look fat today? Or we like to overanalyze the experience that we are currently having with the guy, and we like to look at how much he's texting us as proof of, okay, is he interested? Does he like me? Am I being ghosted right now? Is this guy trash or a red flag? Do I need to run for the hills? So instead of asking, is this true? You need to start asking, is this belief actually helping me? Okay? So every time that you look in the mirror and you look at yourself and you think, I kind of look ugly, like, is this true? And you start overanalyzing yourself, picking yourself apart through everything that you deem as unworthy and unlovable and ugly, you need to start sitting there and questioning yourself, you know what? Is this belief even helping me? Is this getting me where I want to go? Is me believing and even asking myself the question of am I ugly getting me literally anywhere? And if the answer is no, then you need to stop rehearsing it. You need to stop playing the script, playing the story every single day where you constantly are asking yourself, do I look good enough right now? Is this actually beautiful? No, you just are going to sit there and you're going to say, I'm amazing. I'm so beautiful. I'm so radiant. I am so attractive. I am so worthy and magnetic, because you simply decide it. Self-concept 101, along with confidence, is that you do not just all of a sudden have a beautiful self-concept or a beautiful level of confidence. You do the actions required to therefore build that self-concept moving forward. So instead of thinking you're going to naturally wake up one day and be like, wow, I'm the most beautiful person to ever exist on this planet. Everyone's lucky to know me and I'm just so magnetic and attractive. You're going to sit there and you're going to decide in that moment that that is who you are now moving forward. And therefore reality will begin to align with that new assumption and belief because you decided it. That's the other thing with core limiting beliefs, is that they don't just disappear overnight because you started all of a sudden journaling on a daily basis. They disappear because you consciously are deciding for them to stop. You consciously are deciding to employ a new belief that aligns with the version of yourself and the reality you want to create moving forward. And next, this is going to be a very powerful technique in regards to revision. I know that all of y'all are obsessed with revision because I get 1,000 comments on all of my videos about it. So I'm finally talking about it. So let's get into it. And that is going to be to change your memories, okay? So here's the thing. You are not changing the facts as to what actually happened to you, as the experience that you were actually put through in your life. However, you are allowed to change the meaning that you assign to it. So what you're going to do is you're going to close your eyes. And you're going to recall a memory that is painful, that gave you the belief that you are unworthy, that you are not chosen, that you are not good enough. And you are going to imagine your current highest self walking into that memory. You're going to imagine them going to the version of you that was in pain, the version of you that was suffering, that believed, okay, wow, I'm not chosen because my two closest friends went off and hung out without me and they didn't even tell me. And so you are going to sit there and you're going to comfort yourself. You're going to tell yourself, you're so valuable. You're so amazing. You are chosen. You are loved. I love you at the end of the day. I support you. And you are going to give them what they wish that they had in that exact moment. The reason that we are doing this is because we are changing the emotional meaning tied behind the story that influence your current beliefs today. Because if you had an experience where you felt left out and you felt like you were not good enough and that you were not chosen by the closest people in your life, then you could have subconsciously, especially as a kid, registered that as, okay, cool, I'm just not chosen. I'm not good enough. People don't love me, or I need to perform and work for this attention and validation. So you are changing the emotional meaning and story behind this memory and experience so that you can take your power back over it in the current present day reality to where that belief no longer affects you in such a deep way. And next is going to be to change your environment. Okay, I think that this is honestly a very overlooked step, and it's one of the few things that we can really do in the physical external world to really immediately have a positive impact on the way we view ourselves and our life and our identity. And that is going to be to switch things up a little bit, okay? Because here's the thing, is that if you have a messy room, you are naturally going to have a self-concept of, okay, cool, I am chaotic. Or if you have broken furniture, you are going to have the self-concept as, okay, cool, I settle. If you have symbolic items from your past, you are going to naturally assume, okay, cool, that's who I am. These are the people I associate with. This is my life, because you are still holding on to them, meaning that you still have some type of resonation towards these experiences. So almost every year for me, I like to do a completely rebrand in my environment and my room. I like to purge out old items that no longer serve me, that no longer resonate with the version of me that I'm trying to create and build. I like to get rid of things that do not reflect the highest version of myself that I'm trying to step into. I also just like to move and shift my furniture around. I like to have new scenery, new items, new environments. And I know that it's a privilege to go out and just buy new things all the time, but even just simply changing the way that your bed is positioned in your room, even just simply changing a couple of the pieces of furniture, the desk, your chair, how you like to view certain things, photos on your wall, posters on your wall, whatever it is, allowing yourself to have a new refresh allows yourself to create a brand new foundation for you to create a new identity off of. And then lastly, and this is probably going to be a little bit more painful for most people, and that is going to be to question your identity at the end of the day. Here's the thing, is that many people mistake their conditioning as who they are today. They mistake the way that they were raised. They mistake the way that they were brought up. They mistake the way that they were picked and chosen and influenced throughout their life by their peers, by their environment, by their own family and parents as who they are today. So I need you to ask, is this actually me? Or is this something that I simply learned? And even further than that, I need you to ask, who would I be without this belief? What would I do? What would I pursue? How would I challenge myself? And what would I go after if I never had this belief stopping me in the first place? Because the thing is, at the end of the day, is that the quality of your life is limited to the parts of yourself that you are unwilling to see, to the parts of yourself that you subconsciously avoid and repress and deem as unworthy and unlovable. And then very last, because I'm feeling a little bit more generous today, and I lied to you guys when I said that that last point was last, is in understanding that self-awareness is separate from overthinking. I think a lot of people assume that because they overthink every one of their actions, because they sit there and constantly analyze the way that they talked in a certain experience, the way that they are acting, the way that they are being perceived as a method to who they actually are and their identity and their self-awareness, but yet they don't actually realize that that is actually just stemming from anxiety. It's stemming from the need to control how you are being perceived, to control the experiences that you have on a daily basis, and it's not actually coming from the fact that you are self-aware over who you are, how you view yourself, and the things you choose to do on a daily basis. Because the thing is that self-awareness is only meaningful when it leads to action. The healthiest people that I know that are the most self-aware, the things that they do is that they often notice a pattern, they take responsibility over that experience, and then they implement a new behavior or belief, and they experiment with it. And then the more that they do so, they gradually grow into the person that they want to be because they shifted the things that were originally causing them pain, distress, or anxiety to begin with. They don't just sit there and reaffirm, okay, cool, so I'm an overly anxious, chaotic mess, and that's just who I am, and this is how I'll always be, and that's that. No. And I think that that's actually gonna be it. I think that that's gonna be the end of the video. Anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. I really, really hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I honestly loved filming this one. This one for me was really fun because I think that for me, breaking down core beliefs is really just a staple in regards to manifestation. It's a staple in identity shifting, a staple in actually shifting you and your life and your character, because everyone does the right techniques. Everyone tries to manifest and do the shadow work and all the things that is necessary in order to manifest the life that you want to to create. However, they still have limiting beliefs and parts of their character that they deem as unworthy, unlovable, unsuccessful, and so they never actually sustainably manifest things that they truly want because there's something under the surface that is blocking them from getting there to begin with. So I want to make this video to help you out with that. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it for me today. I hope that you found this video educational. If you did not, I at least hope you found it entertaining, because that is always so important. And yeah, without further ado, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day and an even better life. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.